Good.
Finally have summer, right?
Okay, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the Batavia City Council for Monday, July 15th, 2019. And ask that you all please rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, in the wonders of the summer season, we are ever thankful for the many graces of blessing that have been showered upon the community of Batavia, as was evidenced this past weekend with the very successful Windmill City Day celebration. Without question, we witnessed on specifically Friday night one of the largest crowds we've ever experienced in downtown Batavia, and all of which was handled with great ease and comfort and direction by our city staff and those from the Batavia Chamber of Commerce and Batavia Main Street. And we literally got through that without much incident. We are most thankful for the friendships and good times and community togetherness that was experienced by so many people who came down and participated in that. And we just ask that as we go forward through the remainder of the year, that other gatherings of the community have the same sense of understanding and success that that one enjoyed. Also tonight, we want to remember those from our community who are suffering from illness or problems, and we just ask that a special blessing be showered upon each and every one of them. And we specifically want to remember those from our community who are serving in defense of the liberties of the United States of America and the military. And we just ask that a special blessing be showered upon them and all those serving from our country with them as they go about their vital missions around this world. Tonight, we ask for direction and understanding and vision as we discuss the various items before us, knowing that each member of the council is here to do what in their own hearts and minds is in the best interest of the community that they serve. We ask for all these blessings. Amen. Alderman Earl, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Miller,
Here.
Rosato,
Here.
Beck, Knopp,
Here.
Chanzit,
Here.
Wolf,
Here.
Salvati,
Here.
O'Brien,
Here.
Callahan,
Here.
Meitzler,
Here.
Malay, Ewer,
Here.
Saron,
Here.
McFadden.
Here.
Let the record reflect that 12 of the 14 elected members of the city council are present and accounted for, so we obviously have the necessary quorum to conduct business. Moving to item 4, I'd remind everybody that we are being televised, and we do need to make sure that we use the microphones so that it's clearly heard by not only those in the council chambers, but all those who will be watching this on BATV. Also, I just ask for everybody's understanding and support of one another as we go about the discussions. I've had people tell me that sometimes we don't all use the microphone here, and I guess I don't want to interrupt you, but I would caution you that it is something that people do notice very easily when they're watching it on TV and you don't get your face into the microphone. It becomes very hard to hear, so please try to do that if you can. Okay, moving to item number 5, which are items to be removed, added, or changed on the agenda. Do we have anything tonight?
Not aware of anything.
I would just add, I would like to add item 6A, which is going to be recognition of Jody Klopp, who was retired after a long and very productive career with our electric utility. So I would ask that we'll put that on the agenda right after we get through with the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Everybody in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving then to the presentation of tonight's consent agenda.
Your Honor, the consent agenda reads as follows. Approvals, the July 12th, 2019 payroll in the amount of $918,610.58. The accounts payable check register in the amount of $1,136,713.64. City Council minutes from July 1st, 2019. The 2019 Committee of the Whole Executive Session minutes for January 15th, January 29th, March 12th, March 19th, April 30th, May 14th, May 21st, May 28th, and July 9th of 2019. Resolution 19-78-R, executing a ground space lease agreement with the New Singular Wireless PCS for 200 North Verdant Road. Ordinance 19-48, revising Title III, Chapter 3, Sections 3-315, 3-316, 3-318, 3-327 of the Batavia Municipal Code, creating a Park District liquor license. Resolution 19-77-R, authorizing change order number 8 with Williams Brothers Construction for Phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation project. And ordinance 19-49, annexing parts of the Old Burlington Northern right-of-way between Bernadette Lane and Millview Drive. Your Honor, I would move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Chanzat, second by Alderman Knopp for the approval of the consent agenda is read. Any additions, corrections, notations? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Chanzat.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Salvati.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
McFadden.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosato.
Aye.
Knopp.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved, 12 yes, no nos, 2 absent. Okay, I'm going to go up to the podium for a moment. Jody, could you come up and join me? So tonight is both a kind of an emotional night and one that certainly we are most appreciative with. We are very, I guess I'm telling you, I'm sorry to see that Jody is retiring, because Jody has been a stalwart member of the Batavia Electric Utility. And he's been there for 29 years. And he started at a very young age, but he quickly learned the business. And he's been a guy that has done some very extraordinary things. I don't even want to think about some of the things I saw him do in his, I'll call it his wild and crazy youth, and some of the poles and some of the things he did with trees and other things that were problems for the Batavia Electric Utility. But Jody has served with our electric utility for 29 years, and he really comes with a lot of experience. And him retiring at the age that he is, I can understand, but he certainly creates a void in the utility by not having him anymore here for the services that he does provide. He's one that truly had Batavia always at his heart. His family is from our community. He was kind of born and raised here, and he fully understood what Batavia was all about. And many instances when he had a problem he responded to, he was almost on first name basis with the citizen when he showed up on their doorstep. So he's one of those that I am very, very sorry to see retire, but I'm happy that he had a very successful career with the city government, and certainly one that he can, I think, go forward with great pride. And he's retiring at a relatively young age, so I'm looking forward to your next career, whatever that's going to be. And I trust that you will continue in this spirit of serving others that you have so well illustrated in your past. So I have the city plaque that I'm going to present to Jody, and it reads, City of Batavia, Jody L. Klopp, electrical lineman, in appreciation of 29 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Batavia and the electrical division from May 14th, 1990 to June 5th, 2019, and signed by myself as mayor. Jody, on behalf of the people of Batavia, thank you very much. Would you like to make some comments?
I would, thank you. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Council. I want to thank everyone, my family, all the departments. I got a lot of friends in all the departments, and they're still going to be my friends for many years. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here in town, so you'll see me. I'll be around and trying to help out when I can, and I just on to the next chapter. But I want to thank everyone. I really appreciate it. It's been a good run.
All right, well, on behalf of the citizens, I present to you this plaque, and it's what I just read, and hopefully you can find someplace in your house to hang that with great honor and
I will.
appreciation for a job extraordinarily well done. So thank you
very much.
Thank you very much. All right, moving to item number 7, we are going to declare a public hearing for the amended special service area number 61 for 1 Washington Place development. Who's got this one? Scott, are you doing this?
Sure. This is the amendment to Special Service Area Number 61 for the 1 Washington Place project at Washington and Wilson Street. This is amending the existing special service area to change the maximum allowable levy, as well as extending the time frame from which the special service area can exist. So tonight is the public hearing on it. If you will entertain public comment on it, and then after that you can close it, and then you would vote on the ordinance, and then there's a 60-day time period for objections. After that, then the special service area amendment takes place. Again, the objections are only by the property owners that are within the special service area that has been bounded by those 4 streets.
Any questions of Scott?
I would just ask, do we file an objection as the only property holder?
If you would wish to do so, you certainly may.
We haven't filed one against her?
We have not so far. We did get the certified notice, though, so.
Anybody on the council have any comments? Well, it is a public hearing. Does anybody in the audience wish to address the city council on the subject of the amended special service area number 61 for 1 Washington Place? I guess not. So want me to declare the hearing over, or you want to make some statement?
You can close the hearing.
To make a motion.
I would move that we close the hearing.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Chanzat, second by Alderman Wolf, that we declare the hearing to be over. No testimony was so noted. Clerk, call the roll, I guess, on that motion.
Chanzat.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Salvati.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
McFadden.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosato.
Aye.
Knopp.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Okay, moving to item number 8, matters from the public for items not on the agenda. Do we have anybody this evening? Doesn't look like it. Okay, moving to item number 9, it's Main Street's turn. We're very honored to have the executive director here with us. Chris?
I'm very honored to be here. Thank you. This is my 7th meeting today, so energy might be a little low, but we're good to go. I wanted to update you all as we continue to round out our staff at Main Street. I made another hire just on Friday. Familiar name to you guys, Lucy Thielen-Atac's actually going to come to work for us on a part-time basis. She's taking on the role of Economic Vitality Coordinator. So very excited to have her. You all know her, former alderwoman, great community history, dedicated Batavia community member. She's going to start right away working on some of our Second Fridays events, as well as other economic related events that we do, Small Business Saturday, some of the winter promotions that we'll be working in for retail, some new stuff we've got working on now. So very excited to have her on board with Main Street as we continue to grow. Farmers Market has kicked off and is going strong. Every week has been busy. Vendors are happy. Things are going great over there. I see some of you guys pass through there on Saturdays. It's always nice to see the familiar faces. It's another successful year so far, and we're excited about that. We've been working on beefing up our Link Match program, which is a program that we work through the state where people who have SNAP Link cards can come in and spend up to $25 on their card, and they get a grant match from that for another $25. So you spend $25, you actually can get $50 to spend on produce at the market. There's a new statewide program this year that is converting to a universal currency. In the past, it has been you come in with your card, you get a little token to use at our farmers market. Now we're going to a statewide currency. So you come in, you can go to Aurora and use your Link Match down there. If you got a little bit left over, you can swing by our market, and everybody accepts it. Everybody gets reimbursed from the state, so it kind of works out, makes things move a little smoother, and allows people to stop in wherever they're at. And if you don't spend your whole $25 that week, you can go ahead and spend the next few bucks at the next one, even if you're in a different town. So it's a good program. We've been rolling out some initiatives initiatives to get the Batavia Apartments a little more involved in that, as they have some users up there, and we've seen some more faces come down, so I'm pretty excited about the way that's going. We actually received a grant from Compeer Financial just a few weeks ago to help build out that program, get some new initiatives to help new people get to the market, maybe some transportation things and stuff like that we're working on. So hoping to get a little more action on that program as the year moves on as well. This Saturday, Cocktails in the Park, Main Street's biggest fundraiser of the year. We expect probably 500 people or so. It's going to be a warm one, but looks like it's going to be dry. That's the most important thing. So we will have some nice cold beverages to help cool everybody down. We have a couple new additions to it this year. We have picnic table cocktail servers, so people who reserve a picnic table ahead, there's still a few of those available. You can find it, the link on the Main Street Facebook page. If you reserve a picnic table, you will get a server as part of your table to make the runs back and forth, deliver drinks, and help take care of the service there. We also added a champagne bar this year, something new we're trying. We have commemorative champagne glasses that people can buy, and then we'll have a separate area there where people can get champagne refills for that. So just trying some new stuff. Also, that happens to be my sort of Main Street anniversary. I actually accepted this position, I think, on the Wednesday before Cocktails last year. I hadn't even officially taken the job yet, but that was my first Main Street event. So looking forward to my second one now. Just want to say thanks to our presenting sponsors of that event, Gerald Subaru and Boyce Body Works, as well as our other sponsors, K. Hollis Jewelers, Mirror Image, BEI Properties, Masella Real Estate, Alpha Gamma, Neighbors Media, and West DuPage Cabinets and Granite. Right on the heels of that, 2 weeks later, we go to August 4th. That's the kickoff of National Farmers Market Week, where we have our farm-to-table, dinner table event. Annual fundraiser where all of the money from that doesn't go to Main Street, actually goes to the food pantry. Last year, we were able to raise over $10,000 for the Batavia Food Pantry. I know a lot of you turn out for that. It is a sold-out event, and we appreciate everybody's support on that one. We are adding something new to that this year as well. Mike Spillane of Spillane & Sons has made a gorgeous table. If you guys haven't seen the video, there's some links on the Main Street Facebook page and stuff, but he actually had to take down a super old walnut tree on a property he was rehabbing. He had it cut into slabs, had legs poured at the Batavia Foundry, and had this gorgeous table made out of it. And that table is going to be up for live auction at the dinner table event. He's donating that, all the proceeds going to the food pantry for that as well. So I think it's going to go over pretty well. There's a lot of excitement about that, and we're excited for it. I do want to thank our sponsors for that event, our presenting sponsors, Aldi, BEI, and Masella, and then also the Batavia Park District, K. Hollis Jewelers, and Spillane & Sons, of course. And then looking ahead, Block Party September 1st and Oktoberfest toward the end of September. It's hard to think about fall yet, but I had committee meetings for both of those today, so we're rolling right along. That's all I've got. Anybody have any questions for me?
Anybody have any questions?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, moving then to item 10, which is Resolution 19-082-R, amended intergovernmental agreement for fire protection services. Who's got this one?
I can take that here. This is basically just a clerical error in one of the ordinances that we had already passed for this, and it's a couple of years in the center of the term that the numbers were not correct for.
Right. So it's just editing those errors.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
Okay. I'll make the motion that we pass Resolution 19-082-R, the amended intergovernmental agreement between the City of Batavia and Batavia Township for Countryside Fire Protection District.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Rosado for the approval of Resolution 19-082-R with the agreement with the Batavia Fire Protection District. Any discussion? Or did you have something you wanted to add?
Nope.
Clerk, call the roll.
Wolf.
Aye.
Salvati.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
McFadden.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Knopp.
Aye.
Jansit.
Aye.
Motion's approved by a vote of 12 yes, no no's, 2 absent. Okay, moving to item number 11, which is Resolution 19-083-R, Memorandum of Understanding with Kane County Department of Transportation regarding bike sharing. Who's, Alderman Chanzit?
Your Honor, we had a presentation at last Tuesday's Committee of the Whole meeting outlining the county's plans to implement a region-wide bike-sharing program. Ryan Peterson, who's a transportation planner for Kane County Department of Transportation, told us about the program. He's asked us to sign on to this memorandum of understanding. It does not bind us or tie us financially yet, but it gives us an opportunity to express our preferences and concerns in the drafting of the documents as this program is being developed. They're looking to launch it hopefully next August, if I recall. And I believe, as the committee discussed, it won't be a question of whether we're going to participate. It's likely how many stations will we try to implement here in Batavia. So I would move that we approve the memo of understanding.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman McFadden for the approval of Resolution 19-083-R for the Memorandum of Understanding with Kane County Department of Transportation regarding bike sharing. Any further discussion?
Your Honor?
Alderman-
I was not at the committee meeting. I was gone on vacation, but I did get a chance to go through and see the video of it and the PowerPoint that was there. I really think this is a great idea. I mean, I could see where these would be a wonderful addition to downtown, and even maybe with reducing some of the parking needs that we have, if we have these set up here and another one or another set of them up at the train station,
Right.
it'd be an easy way to get back and forth between the two. So I could see a lot of benefit to it.
I'd just like to mention that I took a bike ride actually just yesterday. I was coming through Aurora and I saw their bike share program, but it's kind of an island. You know, the idea of this county-wide bike share program is so that someone from a community can come down and spend time in another community. I think will really help us to link our communities together, and people will be able to enjoy the amenities of our community, and we'll be able to enjoy the amenities of theirs via another available way of transportation.
Any other questions or comments? Guess we call the roll on the motion then?
We have a motion.
Motion?
Yeah, we have.
Jansit?
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Salvati?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye.
Meitzler?
Aye.
Ewer?
Aye.
Saron?
Aye.
McFadden?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Rosato?
Aye.
Knopp?
Aye.
Resolution 19-083-R is approved, 12 yes, no no's, 2 absent. Moving to 12, which is ordinance 19-47, establishing an amended special service area number 61 for 1 Washington Place development.
I have nothing else to add other than we had the public hearing, so we can vote on the ordinance now.
Anybody got any comments to Scott's? Any questions about this? I think we all have heard this before, so we know what we're enacting here.
Yep.
Alderman Chanzit.
Nope, that's still in.
Callahan. I'll begin with C.
It still hurts. It still hurts every time.
Callahan.
I guess we should just point out that it's not for the life of the TIF, so that the public does understand, so that it does go to paying it back in its entirety.
Right, once all the obligations of it are done, then we can terminate the SSA. So it's unlimited, but it's limited based on what has to be funded.
And I think that's even more of a benefit for this than initially the belt and suspenders that we put on this to begin with, to make sure that it paid for itself. This goes above and beyond that, I believe.
Right, that's correct.
And just, as Marty was saying, also, the developer is on board with this also.
Absolutely, they are, yes.
Other comments?
I guess I would make a motion then that we approve ordinance 19-47, establishing the amended special service area 61 for the 1 Washington Place development.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Callahan for the approval of ordinance 19-47 for the establishing an amended special service area 61 for 1 Washington Place development. No further discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Chansett.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Salvati.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
McFadden.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosato.
Aye.
Knopp.
Aye.
Ordinance 19-47 is approved, 12 yes, no no's, 2 absent. Moving to 13, the administrator's report. Laura?
I feel like I was just here. So a couple of things. I wanted to start out with a shout out to the Park District and the phenomenal event that Windmill City Festival was. They do a really great job of bringing together all of the different organizations in the community that take part, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce, who handles all of the food for the event, but the fire department, the police department, who are there to ensure public safety, and also our building department, who are there to make sure that all of the other codes associated with that are followed, so that everybody can be sure that they're going to enjoy a safe event. And it really is a wonderful event that happens in our downtown every year, and we really appreciate the Park District for their leadership of that event. There was also a collaboration between the city and the Depot Museum. There are some wine glasses that actually had been given as a door gift, I would say, at an employee appreciation dinner a number of years ago. And some people have seen these glasses online, and there was a great deal of interest. How can I get some of those City of Batavia glasses? And so our HR department came up with the idea to buy these glasses and to collaborate in the sale of those glasses with the Depot Museum. And so we're splitting the proceeds 50-50, and the proceeds will be used in the upkeep and maintenance of our windmill collection, and the Depot Museum will take their portion and add it to their capital campaign for the Depot Museum expansion. And we're happy to say that in the amount that we set aside for the Windmill City Festival, we sold out. So we are happy that Main Street has offered to allow us to have a table to sell these at this weekend's Cocktails in the Park. Seems like an appropriate place to sell the glassware as well. So we hope that it will be of similar success. Also want to give a shout out to Batavia's newest downtown restaurant, which is Bocaditos. They opened on July 12th, and they are at 109 East Wilson Street. And we're very happy that after working hard on their build out, that their doors are now open. Also, Prairie Commons has opened their first model buildings. That's off of Wind Energy Pass and Kirk Road. Construction continues on several other buildings in Phase 1, and utility and street construction continues in the Phase 2 area. So they continue to work on that large-scale residential project. We've also issued a grading permit for the speculative industrial building at Fabian Parkway and Louis Bork Drive, and work is now underway. We're reviewing their building plans and anticipate a full permit being issued later this month. The Raising Cane's restaurant on the former Avenue Chevrolet property has received full building permit, and work has commenced on that project as well. And some things that we have going on in Public Works right now. The mainline storm sewer is almost complete in the Ward 1 project. I'd just like to mention that BATV was out last week and worked with Tim Ward from our engineering department to do a video that one can watch on That's News to Me at mybatv.com and give you some insights into that construction project. And we plan on continuing to do that with our ongoing construction projects. But if you're interested in more information about any of our larger scale projects, you can go to the homepage of our website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there's a place for city maps. And there's all kinds of maps. You can figure out what ward you're in. You can see what road construction projects or crack filling or sidewalk programs are underway. There's about a dozen different maps giving you information about what's going on in the city. Also, well number 7, rehabilitation, is nearing completion. The well is expected to be back online the week of July 15th, so this week. And also, our annual roadway resurfacing project is anticipated to commence construction in mid-August after the work is completed in the Ward 1 project. We've met with the sign contractor for the dam project that installed signs last year. There were 2 remaining signs that needed to be installed, and we anticipate that those will be installed as long as things stay dry enough to do that. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Any questions, Laura? I guess not.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, go to committee reports. Community development.
Over here.
Excuse me. Alderman Collin.
Nothing for tomorrow night. We do have a Plan Commission meeting on July 17th at 7 p.m. for the Winding Creek subdivision Phase 1 final plat.
Okay. Government services.
So it is going to be my audition for Mayor Pro Tem. I have the entire meeting tomorrow night, and I will do no online shopping, apparently, for Amazon's last day. Presentation of the financial report, mid-year finance report, MSA for a online payment processor, setting, what is it? Setting payments for ESDA workers, and a intergovernmental agreement between Batavia and the Geneva Park District for police protection services, and we also have a liquor license to approve.
Any questions on that one? City services.
No report, Your Honor.
Public utilities.
Nothing to report.
Okay, we have other business. Alderman Callahan.
I just want to recognize that our community has a lot of dance studios in our downtown that are award-winning, and a step above Dance Academy this weekend took home some very big awards at nationals. They took Studio of the Year. Shannon Claiborne, the owner, took a Choreographer of the Year. There were some national grand champion dances at the end, and a certain little girl in my house took 3rd place in her first solo. And if you don't think this matters to especially the owner, Shannon Claiborne, there was a picture of her on Instagram holding up her trophy with her husband's Super Bowl trophy on the New England Patriots, and the girls believed that hers was much more meaningful. But the girls in town do a fantastic job.
Okay, any Alderman?
Your Honor, I heard from John McManus, the principal at Altamanu, who did the design on River Street, and he had told me that, he sent me a picture. In one of the European magazines, there's a picture of River Street, and it's in another language, so I didn't know what it was. So I'm asking John to get some more information on it, but it seems like River Street has gone international, that they were talking about the Woon Earth on River Street, and what a wonderful thing it was, and it's something that they should look to kind of copy in their city in Europe. So we've gone international, I guess, and so I'll try to get more information for a future meeting.
Cool. Okay, anybody else? Before we leave other business, Roman and I had just had a moment to talk before the meeting started, but at my office, I've received a couple of inquiries from local businesses that want to know how easy or hard it's going to be for them to get into the marijuana selling business on January 1st. So I'm wondering, would you share any observation? He's telling me we're going to have to bring this back to the council for some further discussion, right?
Yeah, as we kind of discussed at the COW meeting last week, there are some choices and policy decisions this council needs to make. I think Laura and staff are going to work through some issues and questions that staff will need to address as well, that council to consider. But I think it'd be worthwhile having some discussion and direction from the council in terms of where they want to go, allowing cannabis sales or banning it, or banning certain industries or allowing certain industries. whether to put them in the city or not, and that'll help us and craft the ordinances that we need to in order to do what the council wishes to do.
So everybody understands that? As long as he's giving you that piece of news, I got to tell you, I have the opportunity, we have an outstanding police department in this town, and I read the uncensored version of the police reports, and what our guys are faced with and the job they're doing, number one, is terrific on behalf of the citizens of Batavia, and Chief Ewell and his administration has done a wondrous job. But I got to tell you, as the mayor of this town, I do not think it's in my heart to sign a bill that will legalize the sale of marijuana in the city of Batavia. Now, me saying that then means that for it to occur, as Roman and Attorney Drendel have explained to me, it's going to take 11 of you are going to have to vote an ordinance through to kind of override my veto of this, because I will not be voting, or I will not be signing an ordinance to sell marijuana in the city of Batavia. And I do that with a heavy heart and after serious reflection, because I have just seen some things. It was wondrous to me the day that it got approved by the Illinois State Legislature. A lot of people just thought, well, boy, it's time to go out and do it. And I know the Batavia Fire Department got brought into several calls of people that either overdosed themselves or passed out or had some kind of a problem. And of course, all that is under HIPAA law, so we don't publicize it, we don't talk about it, and nobody sees it, and it's probably just as well it isn't, because it's medical privacy, and I can fully understand that, but it's there in this town. And I will tell you, my view is it has not been a good story so far, and it's not even legal in this town. So, I mean, right now, if we said, well, we're not going to allow it to be sold, that doesn't stop anybody in town from using it. They can still go some other town and buy it and do whatever they want with it, as long as they're doing it, acting within the constraints of the state law that we have approved. But the state law, as I understand it, and Roman, correct me if I'm wrong, it allows us to agree not to allow it to be sold in town. We can't prohibit its use, but we can prohibit its sale.
Yeah, that's correct. The city could ban its sale and/or growth within the city limits.
Right. But, and again, but if somebody's smoking it, we don't have an ordinance, we can't, there's no law that says that they can't do it. We're just saying that we would not sanction it being sold within the city of Batavia. Now, I'm sure that news will get some real strong reaction from some of the businesses. We've already got, as I say, several of them have been knocking on the doorstep wanting to be able to sell marijuana. So I think it's there, but I would just tell you that 11 of you are going to have to vote for it to become law in the city of Batavia, because the mayor won't be putting his signature on the ordinance. And I just say that right now and get it over with so everybody understands where this is coming. And I appreciate that this is going to create a little bit of a flurry in town, and there's going to be some people greatly disdained with me, but that's just the way I feel. And I feel that, you know, we've got enough things going on here, and the Batavia Police Department is drawn into a whole bunch of stuff. To throw this one on top of it and make it so much easier for somebody to buy marijuana in Batavia, I don't know if I see that as a public good. And as the mayor of this town, I just cannot sign that ordinance. So just so you know where I'm at, that's where I'm at. And everybody knows. Alderman Chanzen?
The good news is, as a group, we have got a lot of great opinions, and we've had great discussions about issues that we disagree on. And I do believe that in a community where we can approve video gambling, in a community where we can expand liquor licenses to gas stations, and in a community where we can confront issues like opioid addiction, I hope that you would walk into this discussion with an open mind, understanding that it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It's possible that we could craft an ordinance that would earn your signature, and I would hope that you'd be open to that.
Well, you know, when you throw at me opioid addiction, that's a real sensitive one to me, because I now am aware of, I think it's five or six young people under the age of 24 in this town who are no longer with us because they overdosed on it. Mm-hmm. Several of them have children, their parents were good friends of mine. I feel personally very bad about it. And just the continuation of enhancing the drug traffic in this town, I would have a very difficult time putting my name on anything that's going to do that. So that's why I take the stand that I do. I mean, it can still be law with 11 of you, according to what Roman tells me. If 11 of you voted, it's in, and
I just think it would be stronger with your vote.
Well, you won't be getting that, so.
I draw a distinction between a shot of tequila rose and drinking an entire keg by yourself. There is moderation. There is a way to do this.
Well, I'm not here to play games with anybody, so I just thought, well, I'd get it out there so everybody understands where we're going with this thing.
Sure.
As I say, I get to read the uncensored versions of the Batavia Police reports, and I have just the utmost admiration for the job that is now being done by Chief Ewell and the members of that organization. But we got a real fight on our hands, and I mean, the drug problem, in my opinion, and as I say in Neighbors Magazine this month, is probably the worst I've ever seen it. I mean, there's just too much happening, and I think to a large degree the state of Illinois has let the guard down, and we've just let everything kind of flow in, and I'm not sure where it's going, but I don't want my name on that side of the agenda. So I'm just saying here right now that that's where I'm at, and I'm going to be probably sticking with that position. So all of you will have probably a role that you'll get identified with, because 11 of you are going to have to vote for it to be sold in the city of Batavia. Okay, let's move then to the mayor's report. You've already had me make my speech. I just want to thank publicly the committee of citizens who put together the 4th of July fireworks program this year. It was extremely well done. We had a smaller group than we've had in the past. Quite honestly, we could use a few citizen volunteers to step forward. It's a fun event. We have a lot of activities that need the support of everybody, but this year seemed to go off without a hitch, again, because we have extraordinarily great staff from support from the fire department and the police department and public works. And, you know, we've never, and I boast about this, we've never spent a penny of taxpayer dollars to buy fireworks in 69 years in Batavia. We've always been able to pay for all of it with donations from the public. The only thing we do pay is some of the costs of, some of the manpower for traffic direction and whatever have you, but the show and the insurance and the noise and everything else is all paid for by the citizens, and generally we raise about $40,000 a year. And we've already got a nice kitty to start for next year. We're going to need some more community support, but we've been shooting fireworks in this town for 69 years, and as far as I can tell, we've never used a penny of taxpayer money to do it. And I think that's, number one, a very specific commitment of the citizens of Batavia to the spirit of patriotism and democracy, and that we really show our pride in this country and what we're all about. And we have thousands of people show up here every year. If you go out on Randall Road, every parking space on all those parking lots is jam-packed, and then we have several thousand on the field with us, and then we have several more thousand in all the neighborhoods immediately surrounding it, watching it from whatever. So the police department jokes with me that at the end of the fireworks, it is the largest traffic jam of Batavia every year. We don't ever do anything else that gets anywhere near that volume of traffic as we do there. But as always, Chief Ewell and his forces again rose to the occasion, and we got it all taken care of. And I don't even, quite honestly, this year remember hearing much of anything, of any accidents or people doing some erroneous thing. It's all been, everybody's behaved themselves. So as a community, we really did pride ourselves. The next thing I want to pat a few backs on is this recent Windmill City Days this past weekend. Again, to the credit of the Batavia Park District and the Batavia Chamber of Commerce and Batavia Main Street and certainly the city staff that stepped in. I would estimate that Friday night's attendance down here was probably the largest we've ever had in downtown Batavia at any one particular event. There were literally thousands of people wandering around between all the various things that were going on. And I just was very, very proud, and the police department tells me their need for services was extremely, didn't really have a lot of problems with it. Everybody seemed to come, enjoy themselves. We truly made it a family event. And I'm very optimistic that the other events that we have coming, with the one that Chris just shared with us with the party in the park here, that will be another, I think, highly attended and well-run situation. And I would encourage all the members of the city council, if you've not hadn't gotten a ticket yet and you want to come to some fun thing about Batavia that has a meaningful story behind it, I would suggest that the Party in the Park is kind of a new community tradition we've started that really has caught on and speaks well for how we as a community conduct ourselves. And then we've still got the Oktoberfest and the Labor Day party and everything else that we're going to be doing. So there's a lot of different stuff still to happen in town. And when I go to CMAP in downtown Chicago, I kind of pat myself on the back when I go in there, and I have mayors from all these other suburban towns around us asking me questions about what is it you do at the Windmill City Days, and what is this table that you sit down in the middle of the street and all these hundreds of people show up for dinner, and what is this Oktoberfest that you have, and how can you do those things, and where do you do it? And I say, well, it's great. We got a couple of very good, well-run agencies in the Chamber of Commerce and the Batavia Main Street organization, and they really have spun downtown Batavia around the place to be. And to me, as the mayor, the beautiful part about those events, and most of what we're doing is, it's all right downtown here. It's all right in the center of town. So if you're living on the east side or the west side, we have to fire the fireworks out there on the field because we got to get it all that away from the to-do. But all this other stuff is all right downtown here. And I think it speaks wonders for the visions and the imaginations of aldermen and mayors going back way before I was mayor. Now, that's a time back. Former Alderman Brown's father was very instrumental in bringing some of this acquisition of property, specifically this building and the area to the west of us here together to make this into a park. And at the time they did that, they took heavy criticism from a lot of people that this was, nobody's ever going to use it, downtown's a dead place, blah, blah, blah. And we've certainly brought it around and made it a very live place. And tomorrow, Laura and I are entertaining the city of Western Springs is coming to Batavia to look at what we're doing here and see how things are run. And so I'm honored by that. We got the mayor and the administrator coming tomorrow to see Batavia. So I'm just very pleased that we've got a lot of positive things happening here, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. Hopefully I'm patting the city council and the community and the Main Street program and the Chamber of Commerce, because they're the driving forces that are really making this work, and we are making Batavia a show place and a place for families. And I think that's the most important thing that as a community we can do, is kind of illustrate and put forth the family appearance of this thing. Because if you look at what this is all about, and specifically if you go into these older neighborhoods on both the east and west sides of the river, and you look at who's living in many of these 100-year-old houses that are around here, a lot of it is brand newly married younger couples who want to get their kids into the Batavia schools and want to live in a town that's a fun place to be, which is a meaningful place to be. And certainly if you're anywhere a history person like I am, we have one of the richest historical records of things that have happened in our downtown here of any city in the Chicagoland area. I mean, I have other mayors come out here and say, Jesus, I couldn't come anywhere near some of the stuff you got here. You can start with Mary Todd Lincoln, and you can talk about the flight line that was used in the rocket that landed on the moon was made in this room. I mean, we got all kinds of we got the Academy Award down the street at Shumway Foundry. The patterns for that were made down there. So, I mean, we've got some stuff here that we can pound our chest on and be very proud of, and I'm very pleased that Batavia has all this going for it. So we got great partnerships with our other governments in town. Certainly the Park District and the School District have been really good friends of us to work together on a variety of things that we have done that have really shown the community in a very positive light. And I have people waltz in the door here telling me, well, I just moved to Batavia, and the reason I came was the governments out here talk to each other and get along. And I look at the test scores in the school system, and I look at the safety records on the streets of this town, and this is where I wanted to bring my family, and maybe I'm paying a little bit more taxes, or I paid a little bit more for my property, but if I can be part of this, it's well worth it to me. So as the mayor and the city council, we should be very proud that we have people coming in and saying things like that. Sue, that's enough for me to shout my mouth off with tonight. I guess we need to have an executive session to talk about review of city council executive session minutes. So somebody care to make that motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderman Knopp, second by Alderman Wolf, that council enter executive session for the purpose of discussing the executive session minutes. Clerk, call the roll.
Knopp?
Aye.
Chanzig?
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Salvati?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye.
Meitzler?
Aye.
Ewer?
Aye.
Saron?
Aye.
McFadden?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Rosado?
Aye.
We'll take a couple-minute recess, and then we'll commence.